Okay guys, welcome to my how to hold videos. In this video we'll be looking at Inferno, and we'll be looking at the short A, or the diggity side of Inferno. It could also be referred to as the quad side. The closest side to A. We'll be covering timings, angles, positions, grenade usage, pushing, and terrorist after plant positions as well in this area. Let's first define which area of the map we're talking about. So, short A or diggity is the right hand side of the map, just in front of the apartments. We'll also be including the A site and the pit area, and coming from straight up mid. But mainly we'll be focusing on the dig side in general, including the quad, coming from mid as well. We won't be focusing on either of these areas coming from the apartments, or from the jungle or long A area, as they will be covered in other videos. Okay, let's have a look at timings. We're going to look at CT timings, terrace timings, and the meeting angle. So for a counter terrace to get to mid, now if they run through jungle to get across mid, it's quite dangerous, but they can get there within 8 seconds, and have a sneaky peek down mid. It takes the terrorists about 7 seconds to get to the bottom of the stairs, so where they can peek them. So the terrorists can get there before you if both have good spawns, and the meeting angle will be across mid. However, if you don't want to challenge that, you can go around and you'll get there in dig way before they can get to the right side of top mid. Let's have a look at the angles now. We're going to look at aggressive angles and defensive angles. So you can hold all the way down mid at the stairs, and then top mid. And there's a few angles you can hold across dig, around in the quad area, in front of the quad itself, and then really close to the site, and the site itself, of course. Let's have a look at positions. We're going to look at aggressive positions, defensive ones, one kill positions, and AWPing positions. So you can play really close to top mid, you can play in the boiler, in the quad, outside the quad, on top of the quad, in the pit near the truck, in the back of the pit, on the balcony, graveyard, and then a few spots on site as well. Just be careful if you're playing on site that they can wrap to jungle if your teammate goes down there. So play those positions with care. You can also play mini pit. So here is close mid. It's quite an aggressive position, but you can fall back pretty easily. Here's a good position, but you can get stuck and can get flanked from apartments. This is more of a default position. You're a bit stuck to the left hand side though. Up here is a good position if you get boosted up here early. Here is a much better position, default position. You just use the pillar to block one area at a time. Pit is a good position, but it's a defensive position. Another defensive position, but very strong position. Up here is a decent position if you're having to watch both apartments and dig at the same time. Same with this position, you can watch both apartments and dig. On site's decent, but you do give up jungle and quad control. Same with this spot, so these are really defensive positions. And then mini pit, usually if you're playing jungle you have to rotate back. AWPs you can play up close mid. You can play quad on the right hand side, so this is a default AWP position, and then pit is a really, really strong AWPing position. And of course you can play the mini pit area, usually if you're the jungle guy and they're coming dig. Now let's have a look at grenades. We're going to look at smoke grenades, flash grenades, and incendiary grenades. So we'll start with smokes. So mainly you're going to want to smoke off top mid. So a smoke like this works quite nicely. You can do this from dig as well, just bouncing off the pillar. If you bounce it off either side of the pillar, it won't hit the middle of the mid area. But that's okay. You want it to hit the middle, so it smokes off so they can't wrap. They do actually figure out where you are when you throw these smokes sometimes. Just be careful if you're playing close up and they're close. These smokes can be really powerful, mostly since they block off both access to dig and jungle. So any smoke of this is going to help your teammate out in jungle as well. But just beware of them smoking one side and being able to push the other, because your smoke may not be so useful there. If you're stuck back in pit, you can actually smoke off dig as well. This one can leave a gap. As you can see, there's a slight gap on the left hand side. That's okay because it runs into a pillar. So just make sure you practice these smokes if you don't want to leave a gap. If you want to be tricky, you can use the roof here to pop a smoke. This is really close. This you would usually be able to use to stop an immediate push. It won't be used as a defensive smoke very much at all. From pit you can throw a smoke. So the thing with these smokes is they give up boiler control, and they give up jungle control, so they can easily wrap to jungle. But if you've got two people playing jungle, these smokes can be very useful if you're the only guy on site. You can actually smoke top mid from pit as well. This really helps out your jungle guy. So if you've got someone playing jungle and they want to smoke and you're playing defensively, maybe they've got carps control or something, pop their smoke, works quite nicely. And you can just do a basic defensive, super defensive smoke here. Again, gives up quad control. They can actually boost over the quad and see over the smoke, so be really careful when you use those smokes. Graveyard, you can pop the smoke as well. Again, they can boost over the quad. It's going to be a bit harder for them to see you in graveyard, but it's something you do need to watch out for. Site, you don't need to worry about the boost quad here, but you can just throw a smoke down. They can actually clear out relative most of pit, but if you're on site, then you won't be cleared. If you're back here on site, you can throw smokes as well. These will only be used in the term of an immediate push. They're not very useful to, stopping an earlier push. Flashbangs now. So you can do an underhand flash around the corner. This one can be really good if they're close, or if you just want to slow them down. I wouldn't recommend peeking with it unless you know they're close, because it's not going to flash second mid. So this flashbang here works quite nicely. They can see it, this one, but it will flash a bit of second mid. This is a great flashbang, but it will not flash anyone close, but it will flash pretty much everybody, bottom mid, second mid as well. From boiler, you can do a two-handed flash hitting the doors. This flashes them really close. This allows you to then watch apartments or peek out and get a kill depending on which you prefer. You can use the other wall to flash as well. This flashes down mid. More of a delay flash, it's not really going to be able to get you a kill. If you're stuck in the corner here, you can do an underhand flash. This is quite nice, as if they know you're stuck there, you pop the flash, poke out, get a kill. Or you can use the back wall with a two-handed flash as well, depending on which you prefer, which is easier for you. So if you're playing on the default position here, you can use the front wall there to throw a flash to hit mid. The further you throw this flash, the further it will get down mid, but the more seen it will be. You can flash over the roof as well. This one's a bit more seen, but it flashes pretty much everywhere if they're watching, unless they're right up close. If they're right up close, you can do an underhand flash across one side of the quad. This will flash people close and in boiler. If you're on top of the quad, you can throw a flash that just bounces off the quad, just a normal flash. This will flash people down mid quite nicely, and they won't see where it's coming from. Or you can land one on the roof. This one they may be able to detect where it's coming from, but it flashes people quite nicely. If you're in the truck area in the pit, you can throw a flash straight up mid. Just be careful if you've got teammates playing jungle, this flash will get them, but it will flash people in boiler quite nicely if you aim it right. If you head a bit further to the right of the wall, this will flash people in mid, but it will also flash your jungle teammate if he is there, but it's quite good delaying. If they're already in quad, you can pop an underhand flash on the truck. This flashes people close quad. Or you can use the pole here to do a straight flash. This will flash people both in the quad and some people who are peeking balcony. So quite a useful flash, but it is very easy to notice. From back of pit, you can throw one over the pillar. Quite a good flash, flashes people close, but it's pretty easy to spot. You can also use this back wall here as well. Again, easy to spot, but it flashes people quite nicely. And you can peek with that flash as well. If you want one that people can't see, you can use the door in the apartments. This is a very good flash. Or you can do an underhand flash at the bottom here. This is good if they know you're there, and it will flash them quite nicely. Just make sure you hit it correctly. If you're on the balcony, you can do a flash across the balcony, just make sure you don't stand into it. And it's not a very easy flash to dodge. From graveyard, you can do a flash as well. Just straight across. This flashes people at quad, and you can use it to peek out. Or you can do a flash straight over graveyard. A bit easier to see, but it flashes a bit further down, and a bit quicker. A bit easier as well. If you're on site, you can do an underhand flash in your truck. It flashes people at quad as well. Or you can use the back of graveyard, depending on which you prefer, which is easier for you. If you're good with underhand flashes, the underhand flash is probably better. You can actually flash over the site. This is a flash where people aren't really expecting, and it hits the wall here and blows up. If you're on site, you can do a two-handed flash over the box. Flashes in their quad. Just be careful, the pillar and quad can stop lots of flashes, so don't expect everybody to be flashed. Use them more as delay flashes, or peek out, get one kill flash and pull back. From mini pit, you can throw a flash straight across as well. pretty much you're landing them all around in front of the truck. Or you can throw one over the side as well, which works quite nicely. This one you don't really need to worry about people, unless they're in the quad itself, but it's a very good delaying flash. Molotovs, two-handed flashbang off the window, Molotovs at the top of mid quite nicely. This is quite good for delaying. If you're in boiler, it's even better. You delay top mid, you can now focus on carps. If you're here, you can throw one. This isn't very useful, unless they already know you're there, as it does give away your position quite easily. From here, you just throw one straight down, good delaying. If you need to buy enough time for a rotation to get off B, or you just want to delay their push or they're running out of time. You also Molotov off boiler if you wish. Can be quite useful if you want to watch one at a time, or you know they're all in carps. Molotov off boiler, they shouldn't be able to run through it. If you're at the truck area, Molotov off quad. Again, more of a delay Molotov than anything else. If you're back at pit, another Molotov here. Again, delay Molotov. This is just going to delay them. So if they smoke off jungle, you can throw these Molotovs, and then they're going to be waiting a while before they're going to push dig, and by that time hopefully the smoke is pretty much cleared, and your jungle guy can now assist you. So all these Molotovs are going to be landing in front of the quad. The idea is you don't want to let them into the quad as much as you can, because that's where they can dodge all your flashbangs, and they can hide quite easily. So this one here lands outside the quad. From mini pit you can do a running Molotov, and that's going to land in front of the truck. Again, this is really only going to be there if they're going to be pulling the bomb in the next 5 seconds. Let's have a look at pushing. We're going to look at benefits and detriments. So there's 2 places you can push. You can either push straight down mid. This is usually decent if you've got your jungle guy pushing with you. This forces people to go up banana. And if you push banana, you can really squeeze T-stairs. Or you can push second mid. Not very advised, but this forces people down second mid, but it does give control to Diggity then, and they can run up nana and you go out of position. Let's have a look at TR spawn positions. We're going to look at aggressive ones and defensive ones. So here on site, this is a defensive one. Watching jungle, not bad. Graveyard, you can watch jungle and dig. You can split it up quite nicely. Back on site, just be wary, this box is spammable. Deep in pit, very good position. You can watch dig. You can go around the other pillar and watch jungle. On site here, good position if your jungle is being watched. Truck is good as well. Mostly if the bomb is planted for pit. And then default quad position, it's quite good, watching dig, and boiler is good, but as long as the bomb is planted for you close. Thank you guys for watching, I'll see you next time.